Hello and welcome to another Lens Studio tutorial. In this video, you're going to learn how you can use face mesh to make lenses like these in Lens Studio. All the resources that you need in order to make this lens will be linked down below. And yeah, let's create. Here are some simple ways you can use face mesh in your lenses in Lens Studio. First thing that we're going to see is how you can change your texture of your face mesh in Lens Studio. First, find a texture that you want to use. I'm going to use this one right here. This will go around the face and not cover the eyes and the mouth. You can make similar ones like these or find it on PNG platforms. I'm going to drag and drop this into my resources. Then go to Objects, Add New Object and Face Mesh. You can see that a face mesh is added to your lens. What a face mesh is it's a 3D object that covers and tracks your whole face. To change the texture of this face mesh, go to Face Mesh Default Texture, go to Base and add whatever texture it is that you want. You can see that this gets added. Then you can change the other settings here. Things like making it metallic, increasing the roughness. So I'm going to keep it a little bit. What roughness basically does is it makes it a little more reflective. Then you can change the radius of this texture. So I'm going to keep it at maximum, and then the softness of it, which I'm also going to increase a little bit. So this is how you can change the texture of a face mesh in Lens Studio. We can make lenses like these in Lens Studio by deforming the face mesh. To deform your face mesh, you'll first need the face mesh object. You can find the face mesh object down in the description below and download it. Once you have your face mesh object, you'll have to make changes or deform this. To deform this object, you can use multiple different platforms. Some very popular ones include Blender and Maya, but we are going to do this using a free resource as a website. I will link this website down below. You can search for SculptGL and you can make the deformations here. First, I'm going to get rid of this spear. To do that, go to Scene and Clear Scene, then OK. Next, we're going to add a face mesh object into this website. You can do that by dragging and dropping this into SculptGL. You can see that it is the mesh of a face. You can also find this on the official page of Lens Studio. Next, I want to deform this. You can do this by changing the brush here. I'm going to choose drag. What drag will do is it will help me drag points on this mesh wherever I'd like it. I'm also going to reduce the brush size a little bit. Then I'm going to make horns in our mesh. You can see that our horns are made. You can also make any other changes to this as you would like. You can also change the brushes, flatten stuff up. You can also crease things. And yeah, you can experiment with this. But I'm going to go back to where it was before. Next, I'm going to export this 3D object. To do that, go to Files and save.obj. Then, name your file and save it. Once we are done with this, we can go back to our Lens Studio. To use the deformed face mesh, drag and drop it into your resources. What we are also going to need in order to make this lens is to use a script. I'm going to link the script down below. The name of the script is Mesh Script. I will explain what this does in a second. Drag and drop this into your resources. I'm going to close this. Then go to Objects, Add New Object, search for Face Mesh. Once you add your face mesh, go to Add Component, then Script, then Add Script and Mesh Script. Then you're going to change this on awake to on start. Make sure you do this, otherwise, there's a highly likely chance that your Lens Studio might crash. Next, we go to advanced, check that. Then main camera, add in your camera, face mesh, visual, then head binding and add your head binding. You can see that this changes a little bit. I'm going to go back to the default person here. Next thing that we want to do is change the mesh to the one that we had made. To do that, go to face mesh in your resources, external mesh and horns, and then choose the mesh. I'm going to click on OK and we have our mesh right here. We're going to add a face mesh texture back into this. Once you add your face mesh, you will need to add a texture to this. To do that, go to face mesh, then go to your material, add new material and search for unlit. This will add an unlit material to your Lens Studio. Now you can see that this whole thing is just white. To bring back our face on top, go to your unlit, base texture, and here choose your device camera texture. And yeah, here you can see that this gets changed back to your person. You can also test this out on videos in Lens Studio. And yeah, this was how you can use face meshes in Lens Studio. If you like the tutorial, click here to find more such tutorials. You can also subscribe to me and press that bell icon to never miss another tutorial.